Good afternoon, Southern California, AM 1220, FM 98.1, KHTS. I am happy to be on the line with our good friend Ed Masterson. Ed Masterson, you know Ed, right?
Yeah, Ed's great. Wonderful person.
Yeah, one thing I love about Ed is the Ryan Seacrest, if you will. And I think a lot of Ryan Seacrest, so hopefully you like the guy. Plus, he's a handsome guy, and everyone likes him. Ed's the same way. Good
Absolutely
guy,
the same way.
Likeable, friendly. But there's one thing I do not like about Ed, or one thing I do not like that he associates with.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, Ed, welcome to the show.
Fred, Dave, good to see you guys, or good to hear you guys. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Now, do you know what that one thing is, Dave?
I know what that one thing is.
What is the one thing?
It's that damn USC sign he has up every time I do a Zoom call with him.
I know. He's got this big old Trojan head right behind every single time. You know, come on. Anyhow, welcome to the show, Ed. Obviously, we're Bruins, right?
You are, yeah, no. And, hey, we have great respect for the Bruins in the community, and I get a hard time from Marley every time she's on the line with me also on a Zoom call. So apologies to all the Bruins fans in Santa Clarita.
Well, welcome to the show. I understand you guys got a great event coming up here, State of the State. Let's talk about that. And I know, thanks for your service. You were the former chair about a year and a half ago of the Valley Industry Association. And we have a huge event we want you to talk about to all those in Santa Clarita.
Yeah, thank you, Fred. I appreciate it. So on Tuesday, July 7th, from 11:30 probably till 1, we are having our third annual State of the State event, which will feature Senator Scott Wilk and also Assemblywoman Christy Smith. Both of them kind enough to come back and join us again, as they did last year. Last year was a little different. We held it at the Hyatt, of course, and things being different this year, we're now honored to be holding it in one of the Fred Arnold amazing suites and buildings you gentlemen were talking about earlier. So it's going to be Assemblywoman Smith, Senator Wilk. I'll be the moderator for the event, and we're going to actually hold it in person in terms of the three of us being in a studio-style setting, distanced appropriately, of course, masks, all the right protocols. But people will be able to log into it just like a normal Zoom meeting, but it will be, instead of the Brady Bunch-style pictures, it'll be one focal point of the Assemblywoman and the Senator. And we're going to, what we do at those events is we always try to make these via events a combination of information and education, but also as social as possible, so that people feel relaxed and they can sort of be themselves. And we allow people to send in questions that they might have, but we basically have opening remarks from both of the elected officials, let them tell us about the climate in Sacramento, the challenges they're facing, and just kind of an update on what's going on. So it's a really, really great event, and we're very grateful to Senator Wilk and also Assemblywoman Smith, and to you, Fred, honestly, for your kindness and your generosity and your partnership with VIA. We really value that. We appreciate it, and thank you for partnering with us so we can have this event in a different style this time around. Perfect.
That's perfect. Thank you. Well, first of all, you're welcome, and thanks for all you do with it. I got a question. What are some of the hot topics? Have you seen many of the questions, or what do you get a feel for the hot topics right now?
I haven't seen well, I'll be honest with you. I haven't seen any of the questions in advance yet. But I think even though COVID, of course, is at the forefront of everybody's minds, I'm guessing that will be a lot of the questions that, what moving forward at a state level, what are some of the laws or regulations or the things that we're going to see. But I also think, I'm sure we'll have questions that were pertinent even prior to the COVID-19 thing, such as the AB5 issue in terms of, contract workers and things of that nature.
Right.
And some of the other laws that, people have difference of opinions on, depending on their philosophies about the economy and just jobs in general. But there's always usually a fair amount of business community questions that come in. And, sometimes there's more people that are part of the group asking that question. Sometimes it's only one or two. It just depends. But I haven't seen the questions yet in advance, so I can't really speak to any specific ones that we're going to see yet.
Well, let me give you a few.
Exactly. Since we got you.
I know, yeah. Since these better happen, because you know what, everybody's going to hear about these, right?
Exactly.
A couple of topics. One is, how is the budget going to be adjusted post-COVID with tax revenue down? And
right.
I think that's a really relevant topic that they're talking about a cut in teachers' compensation and or budget.
Right.
And that's scary.
And one of the things that I've been curious about that I would like to ask is how much, because we're we're real estate, we're in the real estate business, we're mortgage lenders, and such a big part of our future is that Newhall Ranch development, and I'm wondering how much has COVID stopped that, retarded it? Is it slowing down, or is it not affecting it at all? I mean, because I see work going on, but I'm wondering just how much.
Yeah. I'm sure they would both address that.
Yeah.
Another couple topics that I think is, how do we actually go to attract companies to work to open up here in California? Because we always hear the story, and I can't tell you, Ed, how many. This is one topic. We got a lot of, I want to say, first responders that get a great pension that are just done.
Yeah.
And they're moving to other states that either have a lower tax base and or seem to be more welcoming. And they're taking that check of $9,000 or $10,000 a month with them.
Yeah, they
Ed,
sure are.
I would love to hear thoughts on that.
Yeah, Fred, you're right. I mean, it's an ongoing issue, as you both know, because as you said, you're in real estate, you're in lending, and Fred, you gave a fantastic our first virtual Breakfast Club presentation, last month when you were on there, and I might get the title of it wrong, but I think it was Playing to Win, Adapting to Change, and you talked about things to the point of what you and Dave are talking about now, that behind the scenes, the people that I'm calling regular people like myself that aren't in real estate and maybe aren't in finance or mortgage lending and things like that. You mentioned things in that session that were such eye openers in terms of kind of the beating that mortgage lenders take sometimes behind the scenes, depending on how people either do or do not follow through properly on their loans and whether they make their first payment, and all these little nuances that from an economy standpoint can really wreak havoc on various pieces of the puzzle. And I thought your presentation was brilliant. It was fantastic.
Yeah, Thank you. That's nice of you. And it's interesting because there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that Scott and Christy will be able to hopefully address when it comes to these things. Hey, thankfully we have a representative in D.C. at least for a couple more months until the election happens. Right. We really needed that, Ed, because it felt like we didn't have a voice, especially in the mortgage banking world when we needed to communicate so desperately with D.C. At least we have one now, right?
Yeah, no, you're right. That's a crucial thing. And again, regardless of whether the representative agrees with everybody's points of view on various issues or not, just not having a representative and, like you said, a voice and a presence is very detrimental. So the fact that we've got somebody in that office now that can speak on behalf of the community and have an open door policy for people that need to come there and express concerns about things that, unfortunately were unaddressed over the last few months due to the vacuum there.
Absolutely. Let's talk about the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, so the next Breakfast Club event is going to be on Friday, July 10th, and that one is titled 7 Critical Steps You Must Know to Reopen Your Business. So as you know, businesses are reopening. I put reopening in quotation marks because we all know that, like everybody's dying to get back out there again, but it's such a measured, nuanced return for everybody, whether it's on the social level or business level. So this should be a pretty good one. That'll be on Friday, July 10th. And then we also have Congressman Mike Garcia on August 3rd, that's a Monday, he'll be addressing his first 60 days in office. So that's a special event that we'll have as well. That should be a good one.
Yeah, that should be good. Just like Fred said, I mean, because I know I was on a call with him a little while ago, and he was just saying that so much right now is just catching up from having months and months and months with no representation. So that would be very interesting to see. I mean, both of those are really going to be something you have to tune in for.
Well, Ed, we're excited to see you. You're going to be hosting again, and that's on the 7th, correct? 7th state?
So the State of the State will be on Tuesday, July 7th, and then the Breakfast Club is on Friday, July 10th, and then we have Congressman Garcia on Monday, August 3rd.
And those who want to participate or jump on is the email address and the offices where Kathy's at?
Yeah, exactly. And the website will have a place where people can, sign up for these events and all that stuff.
Google Valley Industry Association VIA for short.
There you go.
VIA.org. And Ed, thanks so much. And just to throw a quick plug in SOS Entertainment, you guys rebounding okay? And I know that you put on events, so it's got to be tough.
No, it is. We're hanging in there. We're keeping ourselves alive, and we're just keeping our fingers crossed that things get back to normal as soon and as safely as possible. But Fred, thank you. Dave, thank you. I really have to give you one more plug, Fred, and this is from the bottom of my heart. You are one of those guys in Santa Clarita that always brings an energy and a vibe into a room that just leaves people uplifted. No matter what you're talking about. It doesn't matter if you're talking about your famous UCLA football team or you're talking about
And that's a lot of work, let me tell you, lately.
Well, trust me, we know how it feels. We haven't had very many good years in the past either, these past few years at SC. But you're just a good guy. You bring great energy, and we really appreciate you. So thank you for everything you do.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
We'll
Thanks a
talk
lot,
soon.
buddy.
Bye, Dave. Take care. See you.
Thanks, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ed Masterson, a USC fan. That
like I
pains
said,
me.
I know. It hurts.
SOS Entertainment, and very involved in our community.
Yeah, that SOS Entertainment, he does such a great job. So if anybody has any kind of event they need to put on, they should talk to him.
Talk to him without a doubt.
He's fantastic.
We're going to jump to a quick break, but when we come back, we're going to talk more about real estate and the fact that you should be probably looking at buying real soon. You've been watching online, hometownstation.com, Facebook Live, AM 1220, FM 98.1, KHTS.